Dear friends, welcome. Today, this Sunday, the Church gives us one of the most striking sets of readings, as that's true, we approach the end of the liturgical year. They are not the most comfortable, but they are meant to wake us up in a way, to steady us, and to give us hope. So let's dive into today's readings. First is the first reading from the prophet Malachi, which feels incredibly modern because people in his time, Malachi's time, just like today, were asking, what's the point of serving God? Why do those who ignore him seem to prosper while honest people, good people, seem to struggle? It's the very age old question of justice in the social environment. And in fact, the Lord answers through the prophet Malachi. But there is a difference between the righteous and the wicked. God sees that problem even when we don't. A day will come when even the most and least cherished life will be revealed as it truly is. Malachi uses two vivid images. First is for those who glorify themselves and harm others. The day of the Lord will be like a furnace that burns up the straw. And the second, that those who honor God, for them the sun of righteousness will rise eventually with healing in its wings. It is a beautiful picture, God sheltering his people the way a mother bird protects her young in the nest. And it's a great reminder we need badly today. We look at the world, at corrupt structures, at people who climb by stepping on the other people, and we ask, does God really not care about this? And the answer is arriving today very strikingly. He does. He sees, he remembers, and his justice will be perfect at the very end, at the most proper time. And in the gospel, Jesus, the Lord, prepares his followers for the difficult times. He doesn't sugarcoat anymore the reality of the discipleship. He doesn't say, follow me and you'll be totally safe. Follow me and your life will be easy peasy. Follow me and you will be admired by other people. Not at all. Not at all. On the contrary, he says, stand firm, do not be afraid, stay faithful, even when a trial comes. And here is the key question for our own age, for you and for me. Are we merely admirers of Jesus, or are we his disciples? Admirers or disciples? Admiration is quite cheap, in fact. It costs nothing, but discipleship, well, that costs everything. Jesus does not promise us prosperity, comfort, effortless freedom, but instead he promises something deeper but much holier. Not worldly happiness, but blessedness. Not material wealth, but inner spiritual richness. Not total autonomy, but life-giving obedience. Not power over others, but love for the others. This is why authentic Catholicism, Christianity will always be countercultural in a way. It's always the challenge to the religion of the modern age, modern world, a religion which is centered on oneself, itself, on instant gratification, on rejecting anything that demands sacrifice. And Jesus says very simply, if your faith is only decorative, the world will sweep it all away. But if it's solid as a stone, nothing can break it. When stones come together, therefore, they form something even stronger, a wall, a mural of solidarity. And then the church is standing firm in Christ, and with it, we as well. So true discipleship has always carried a cost. Think, for example, of Saint Faustina Kowalska. Her confessor, Blessed Michael Sopoćko, once wrote to her in a letter, Dear Faustina, if these things come from God, prepare for suffering. You will be misunderstood, you will be rejected, but God will give you every grace you need, because true works of God always face trials. This is not a negativity, it's the realism of the gospel of Christ. The cross is not a defeat, it is the path towards the promised resurrection. And Christian courage is not aggression, it's the quiet, steady strength of people who hold on to Christ even when others seem to let go of him. So this Sunday, just 2 weeks before the Advent commences, the Church invites us to look at our lives with, it seems, honesty, and to ask myself, do I trust that God sees and judges wisely? Do I choose discipleship, not just the mere admiration? Am I a stone that stands firm, or a sand that shifts with the world's winds? The world may change, and it does. Culture does shift all of the time, but faith uh, also may become unfashionable. Yet the Son of Righteousness still rises, and beneath his wings there is healing, there is strength, there is peace. So Christ, the Church, invites us to stand firm, to stay faithful, and to let our lives be the witness that Christ is worth everything. Thank you for joining me this Sunday, 33rd Sunday in the Church's ordinary year. May God bless you and keep you steadfast in His love. Please God, see you next Sunday. And if you like this sermon, please share it with others. God bless you.